most people see the replay of this right later on. So what I want to say is that number one, thanks for watching. I've just started 2 o'clock. I'm going live, trying to go live a couple times a week to basically, I do recipes, right? So I thought, why don't I just go live? So what you're watching, if you have no idea who I am, I'm basically a 58-year-old, soon to be 59, plant-based athlete, right? And husband and father, and I love cooking plant-based meals. So what I'm going to cook today is an edamame and spinach rice noodle salad, because a lot of people always ask me, being plant-based and as strong as I've gotten and as stronger I've gotten being plant-based, what do you eat? So that's what you're going to see today. This is a really simple recipe. It's out of one of my books, the edamame spinach rice noodle salad. Edamame, a huge source of plant protein, and this is gonna take less than 20 minutes. So number one, I appreciate you watching, and then I thought why don't I just go? Let me try and go live on Instagram as well, because why not, right? So live, I'll flip it around. Hang on, we're going to start making this here any moment. And I thought, why not just go live on both? So anybody watching on Instagram, thanks for popping in. Please say hello. I'm going to be checking my computer to say hello. So edamame spinach rice noodle salad is what I'm making. Super easy. Here's an idea of some of the, I've got these already shelled edamame that I found in these little 5-ounce packs that can go in the freezer, and I can and keep them in the freezer for as long as I want to, and then just throw them in a microwave for a couple minutes to warm up. And I found these, the rice noodles or pad thai. I didn't have that specifically, but I had some of these in the cupboard. So I'm always going to look into my cupboard first to see what I might have that I can use for one of the recipes that I'm going to make up, right? And so what I've done also is I've doubled up. So if you're following along with this, like some do, they follow along with this. I've doubled up my recipe because I want a bunch of food, right? So this particular meal, one serving of this is 293 calories. Well, I need more than that because I'm burning fuel all week long. The proteins are 6 grams, carbs are 50, fiber 3, fat is 6 grams, right? And on all my recipes that you'll see here. You see right down here, whoops, this side, that little barcode. If you use the MyFitnessPal app, you're going to find that is on there. And if you use that, you can just scan that, and it records exactly what's in there. So on the recipe, the prep time is 10 minutes, cook time is 5 minutes. So if we start right from the scratch, I've got noodles. So the noodles that I showed you, I doubled up. I used 2 of those packets that I showed you. And then it just calls to warm them up. So what I'm going to do to warm them up is I'm just going to throw them into a pan, like so. I'm going to drop just a touch of, some avocado oil. A little touch of avocado oil, not much, just a little bit, because all I want to do is warm up those noodles for the dish. And then we'll throw that on, and we'll put it on some. Not too hot. Stir that around. I'm just going to get that warmed up because it says just cook the noodles that you're going to use. Just cook them to however you like to cook the noodles. Sorry, how the package says. Read the package. Read the instructions on the package, and just do that thing. Oh, here's a shout out to the Go Campaign. Right? If you don't know about Go Campaign, go to gocampaign.org. Find out what the amazing things are doing for underprivileged kids all around the world. It's absolutely amazing. So I got to give always a shout out to them whenever I can. Now here comes the fun part. In a lot of my recipes, there's the dressing, right? That's the sauce. That's the flavor that you're going to have in the meal, and that's what's key, right? Because the salad and edamame, you get your bulky items, but it's that palate, right? It's that flavor that when it hits your palate, you're like, balls, that is good. Like that's what I want you to experience with a lot of my recipes. So the next step is the fun part. Now we're going to make the dressing. Now on the actual recipe, you just grab a small bowl and you mix up the ingredients. Like the first one is peanut butter, 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. But for me, you know, I found this. So another point, let me see how that focuses in. Thanks to that new camera we got right there. We found that at Costco, so it's a mixed nut butter, but there's fragments of the nuts in there. Well, I want to really make it creamy, right? So I'm going to take that and use that. And I also decided to use our NutriBullet for the sauces. In the last couple of videos I've been doing, I've been using our Vitamix. Well, as you know, with a Vitamix, you know, the blades are on the bottom. So I was finding that when I'm making a dill, you know, some kind of dressing, and then you got to wash out the bottom. If you don't wash that out good enough, and you're trying to make your chocolate shake next morning, and there's some remnants of dill in there, we're going to have a chocolate protein dill shake, and that does not taste good. Take it from me. But so now what I've decided to do is use my NutriBullet for the sauce, right? So here's a kicker. Oh, I got my AirPods in, and I couldn't hear that. So they're probably warmed up enough, right? So we'll just take a little bitty fork. Those are I'm just looking to warm those up. Those are probably warm enough already. So let's just cut that off so I don't burn that, because I'll make that mistake. So now the money again is in the dressing. So I'm going to start with. I try and start with the. You know, it says peanut butter listed first. I should change that on the recipe. You know, because the thicky, gluey peanut butter. Don't put that in first, because then that gets onto the blades, right? Let's put that in last after the liquids, right? Makes total sense. So the next one is rice vinegar. I've got my rice vinegar here, and it calls for, where's my, pause. Pause. So I've separated my recipe into, all these items over here are basically for my, the dressing. Right, and then over here is primarily all the other items like the edamame and the salad and the noodles. Noodles are over here, obviously, but I've tried to keep things separated so they don't get, there's no confusion. Now the sesame and the chili flakes, well, they're going to be used both. But over here is my dressing that I'm making. So first up, rice vinegar, and it calls for 1 tablespoon. Now I mentioned earlier that I'm doubling up the recipe because I want to make more food, because it's myself, my bride, and my son that are going to have dinner, and they're going to eat, and we're going to eat this. And I'll check for you guys to see who's saying hello to me. I appreciate you guys saying hello. Hey Wendy, hey John, appreciate you saying hello. So doubling up. So let's go 1, 2 tablespoons, 2 tablespoons of rice vinegar. Now here's another thing I like to do. I'm done with this. I'm not using this anymore. So where does that go? That goes over here, right? So then that's process of elimination. I don't want to get that confused in here what I'm doing here. And then tamari. Tamari, I'm going to have tamale. Tamari. I just want to say tomorrow. I want to say tomorrow. This calls for 1 tablespoon. No. All right, I'm doubling. 1 tablespoon of tamari, which means I'm doing 2. Hang on a second. Pause. I said I'm doubling up. I'm reading the wrong thing. Okay. I got mixed up with the peanut butter there. I just told you to skip over. So tamari. 1 tablespoon of tamari, which means I'm going to double it, so I'm going to do 2. All right, now I'm back. Now we're back on track. 1, 2. Dumped into there. My tomorrow. I'm done with my tomorrow. Whatever. Tamari. Organic tamari. Tomorrow, whatever. Tomorrow, I'll figure it out. I'll figure out how to say that tomorrow. There it is. Need to see that? That's what I'm using. Right there, in case you want to see what I'm using. Maybe I should show you everything. This was organic rice vinegar. Right there. I don't know if you guys, folks on IG, want to see that. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Charlie. Thanks for coming in and say hello. You're going to have this tomorrow. This is going to be, there'll be leftover for you for tomorrow. When you get home. So we double up on tamari. Now we're going to double up on our maple syrup, right? So now again, the maple syrup, gluey, thick, right? So don't put the syrup and the peanut butter first in your measuring device, right? Because then you create glue on the walls of that. It makes 0 sense. So that's why I go to, and now I'm going syrup, right? It calls for 1 tablespoon. I'm doubling up, so I'm doing 2. And now I got my maple syrup. I'll show you what the Trader Joe's brand is. Then I'm going 2. Now you really see the beauty of why I like doing the peanut butter last, because that's the most gluey one. So let that focus in. Roma, if you want to take a screenshot of that and pause the video, you can. There you go, Instagram. Right there, right there. So that's my organic Vermont maple syrup. Shout out to Vermont and my family up in Vermont. So now we're down to the peanut butter, right? So now we have this peanut butter, and that calls for 2 tablespoons, which means we're doing 4. All right, so I've used this a couple times now. That little spatula has been great. That little guy right there. So it calls for 4, right? Like peanut butter. I love recipes that have peanut butter in it. I'm a fan of that. So now I'm going to take this. I'm going to squeeze that into there. There's 1. And then look at that. When I just tap on that, because I used the maple syrup, I've created a slippery slope, right? Like sometimes you want to be careful of the slope you choose, right? Like these meals, these plant-based meals that I'm making, these are just to get ready for Jackson Hole and get my body ready to chase Tony Horton down a mountain. That's it. That's it. There's 2, right? I got 2 more to go, so I'm going to scoop some out. I'm going to slide it in there to measure that out. Yeah, it's not exactly, right? If I'm going a little bit over, I'm okay with that, but that's pretty accurate to being 1 tablespoon. And I'll use the same spatula, and I'm going to go in there, I'm going to gut it out and drop it into the liquid down at the bottom. There. Really good, really good. And then 1 more, because we're doing 4, we're doubling up. You might not be doubling up at home. I've doubled up because I want to make a bigger serving for all of us. So we have more. Even if we have leftover, I'm okay with that, because this, for lunch tomorrow, I'm going to be loving that. So look at that. There we go. So that's down in there. Put that aside. What goes with this? What happens to this? I'm done with it. Right, so it goes to the side. Get it out of your way. All right, now, let's see. Now we have chili flakes, a 1/2 teaspoon of chili flakes. These are the chili flakes I got at Trader Joe's. Boom, right there. The camera takes a little second to blah, 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 to focus in. Let's see, so we're doing a 1/2 teaspoon of chili flakes, which means we're going to be doing a full one, right? So I've got my measuring, I bent a little bit. I'm going to bend that. So I'm going to do a full, so there, I'm going to do 2 of these. This measuring spoon is a 1/2 teaspoon. Oh boy, that looks like it might be, whoop. Oh, a little bit extra peppers. All right. Now the chili flakes are going to be finished off with the finishing touch, so I'm going to keep that out. Keep that out there. Sesame, excuse me, sesame seeds. 2 teaspoons more, right? So I think the pepper, I just breathed it in or something. 2 teaspoons of sesame seeds. So I pop that open. I'm going to take that, and there's 1, 2 teaspoons, so I'm doing 4, right? Remember, I'm doubling up. You might not be doubling up at home. Depends on how much you want to make. I put a little shaker back on top of there. Again, this is going to stay out there because that's going to be the finishing touch on the salad. Now it gets really exciting. So now there's what's happening. There's a dressing right there. Now what I might do is some of the peanut butter, I noticed it tried to get stuck on the side wall there. So I'm just going to make sure that nobody's left behind. Right there. Right there. I got a little bit of peanut butter on that thing, so why not? Right? That's going to go on there. And then we just flip that right over. That off, I'm gonna give it a little bit of a shake. I'm gonna give it a little shake because I want to try and get everybody blended in there. And then, now it's a notice, right? How to do it. Oh, hey guys. Hey, Shell. Late. So asleep in Chicago. Huh? Can't hear me. Can't hear me, Mr. Thunder. Can't hear me. Can't hear me. I'm not saying anything important. I'm not saying anything important with the blender going, so. Good. Good. Now these are dirty. All right, let's take that. Let's put that there. I'm done with those, so I might have a. Sometimes I'll put a bowl or something right here. It might have some water in it, and those dirty, measuring things I'm using may go right into that water to start the cleaning process. Because why not? Just efficiency, right? And now let's take this off. Let's see how we're doing here. Let's see how that looks. Do we need to blend it anymore? I don't think so. That looks pretty darn good. See, now at the bottom down there, there's a lot down at the bottom of that, which I'm not crazy about, but the whole inside of that, I don't know if you can see that. Let me see where I am on the camera. Right there, you see how creamy that is in there? I'm trying to get that to focus in. You see that, Instagram? Yeah, see at the bottom? Not much, it's not a lot, because I don't need a ton of it. I've got this out here, I don't even need it. I don't even need it. I brought it out to have it ready, and I don't even need it. So those are done. I don't need those anymore. And now I'm done with this, right? I've blended up my amazing dressing, so I can take that, put that aside. Now we've got our dressing in a small bowl. Mix up the ingredients for the dressing. We did that. Now we're going to transfer the noodles into a bowl. And of course, what's one of my shows without my good friend Satellite Sammy. Satellite, look at that, baby. So I just love that we got that. So transfer the noodles into a bowl. So now I've got my noodles over here. So just a little bit of avocado oil. You see that? Yeah, it's a pretty plain. So I'm going to dump those in there. You choose what you're doing, right? Over your noodles. Over there because I'm done with it. And then with the edamame beans and the spinach, right? So now I've got my doubled up. I've got doubled up noodles and I've got doubled up edamame. So I'm just going to take the edamame. Edamame. Let's just dump them all in there. Why am I taking my time? I'm like acting like I'm a fancy chef or something. Just dump them in. Dump them in. I've got my noodles and my edamame. Edamame. Pause a second. I read this and I couldn't believe it. Like one packet, right? This is 5 ounces of shelled edamame. 17 grams of protein. And that's what I've really leaned into of learning when I went to a plant-based diet is that, my gosh, there's protein everywhere in plants. And I just love that because as I'm cooking these up, it's all of a sudden, I'm like, huh? You hear that? I just got stronger. Did you see it? Did you see my muscle like pop out of my shirt? It happened. I just got stronger because of the plants I feed my belly. All right, so now it calls for baby spinach. Now in the recipe, it calls for 5 ounces. That's 5 ounces, this package right here, 5 ounces, but I doubled it up. So I just took some of the leftover we have of this spinach baby mix, I'm going to dump it all in there. Dump it all in there. I'm done with that, so that goes to the side. Ready to eat. Baby spinach spring mix blend. So I'm going to dump that in there. Right, and then it's transferred edamame beans. Get it all in a bowl, drizzle over the dressing, and toss gently coated. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a little bit of toss first before I add the dressing. So I had these out just to show you guys what those are. But normally I would just toss them aside to get them out of the way, right? And then let's take it out. I've got this big fork I was using to cook with. I've got another big spoon. So I'm just going to take these two here, and I'm going to give it a little toss together. Right, that's looking great already. Right, so the recipe calls for you can, if you wanted to tear the baby spinach up, you can do that. Like if I want to just take a second and just get in here and just grab some of the bigger leaves, right? Because if you're like me, I like them more bite-sized. So I'm just going to reach in and just, my hands are clean from clean. I obviously wash my hands before I do any of my cooking, which I trust you're doing the same thing. I mean, if you're cooking your food, it goes without saying, right? I hope I don't need to remind people to wash their freaking hands before they cook food. And then I'm just looking for big leaves of spinach, and I'm just grabbing them and I'm just tearing them apart. And that's it. All right, that looks really good. And now we're gonna put that dressing over top of it. Where did my where I go with that little spatula? Where'd you go, little buddy? Where'd you go? There you go. Yeah, I actually put that away too soon. That guy there, I'm going to use that to scrape this amazing peanut butter dressing that's going to go over that. So I'm taking this little spatula and I'm scraping the sides of the wall. Let me show you this. Let me show you what I'm doing here. I'm trying to get all the dressing right down at the bottom because it's ready, right? Like that dressing is 100% ready to be drizzled over the salad. If I bring that in to you, I don't want to pour too much, but right there, see that? So I scraped all the walls up just to get it down at the bottom of the little blender that I did. Well, maybe I should do a little bit of this. Oh yeah, just one sec. Oh my gosh. Oh, shit, that's spicy. Oh, hang on. If you like spicy, that's going to be spicy. That is a spicy peanut butter dressing. It's been a while since I made this, and I think because I doubled it up, it was extra flakes in there, but that has got a kick to it. If you like kicks, then you're going to like that. So now I'm going to take that, and now I'm going to slowly, right there, I'm just going to slowly let it drip, 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 drip. I can't, this is going to be so good. Yeah, I mean, it's in the viscosity, as I've shared before, the viscosity of that peanut butter dressing is perfect. It just looks like it came out perfect. I'm going to let a little bit of extra just sit in the bottom of there, right? We'll put that there, and then I'll take my two, whatever I'm using to mix it all up, and now we're going to just toss this up. How we doing? Yeah, we'll keep it under 30 minutes. 30 minutes. So, number one, thanks for cooking it with me. If you're watching a replay, thanks for watching the replay. Be sure to just comment and say hello, right? It's the least you can do, right? But I'm going to keep doing these. I'm going to keep doing these every week because I love cooking anyway, and I really get a kick out of cooking up for the family. So as I toss this, I can see that everything is getting a nice little thin layer of that dressing we made. There's edamame in there with all the protein, the spinach, another plant that has massive amounts of plant protein. All right, so I've tossed that up. I'll give you a view of what that looks like. right there. Let it focus in. Boom. There's a focus in. Instagram, I gotta take care of you guys. See it right there. And that's ready. So I'm gonna grab a bowl and I'll get a little small bowl just to do, I like to do a little taste with you guys before I let you go. But the majority of this, like this is gonna go into the refrigerator. I'm gonna let it just cool there, and then we won't have dinner another for a couple hours. But I just can't wait to serve this up to the crew, to my bride and my son. But here's how we finish it off, right? So I'm going to take my serving spoons. I'm gonna look at it. I'm going to act like I'm a fancy chef. I'm going to say, okay, what's a nice, good little batch, right? So I've got leaves, I've got edamame, I've got noodles. I transfer that into the bowl, right there, just for a little live show tasting. And then it calls for, just to gently coat and serve topped with chili flakes and sesame seeds. If you like spicy, then you got to be careful with that guy, right? Of how much more spice you put on that, right? I'm just going to throw just a little right there. That's it. And then the sesame seeds. I'm going to finish that off. Let some sesame seeds fall in that. And that, my friends, is, it says, prep time, 10 minutes and cook time 5 minutes. We're going to cut this off I'm going to be done in 30 minutes here. And then let's show you what that looks like. Let's let that focus in. Bam! See the sesame seeds on there? How beautiful. Oh, sorry, Instagram. I forgot about you guys. Right there. Right there. Oh, thanks. Oh, coming from you, Chef. Appreciate that. I think that's Chef. Was that Chef? And now let's taste it. So I'm going to get some noodles. You can spin it, right? You can spin it like you would do with with pasta. I'm going to grab a spinach leaf. I'm going to look around for some edamame and try and get some edamame on the fork as well, just so I have everything in there. I got the sauce in there. I love that. I cannot wait to serve this up to them. It has a little kick to it. The kick is coming in. There's a kick. Okay, that's kick. Be careful how much of the chili flakes that you use in the recipe. I double things up, and that might be why it's pretty spicy. So watch for that. That's it. That's it. Cooking with me. Cooking with Mo. Appreciate you watching. Thanks for watching a replay. This recipe is online somewhere. I'll put the ingredients below this video in the comments. So if you want to watch the video on the replay and make it with me, awesome. That's great. Or maybe you just want to just watch me in the kitchen. But good to go right there. Good to go. Thanks Instagram. Thanks Facebook. Thanks for watching. I'll be posting each week on what the recipe is going to be. These are all from my books, from my recipe books, which I love doing as well, because I'm putting these books out. I might as well make those recipes. And then these are all going to be in the new program that I'm coming up with. We have this whole collaboration team. The last 4 weeks we've been working on this new project, which I can't wait to share more of that as we go. Stack 7. Really excited about that. And there, my friends, as we come down to the close of under 30 minutes, again, appreciate you watching. We'll catch you next time. Let me know if there's recipes that you know from one of my books and you want me to cook that one, then I'll cook that one. I'm just going to keep picking out the ones that I just show them to my bride, and I just say, which one do you want to have for dinner? And just let's do that one. So that's the one that I'm going to cook up here in the kitchen. Peace, love, and hugs. Thanks for watching. Instagram, love you and love you. We'll see you next time. Make the rest of the day great and make the weekend great. Peace out.